residents of Sokoma, a community near Yenga, that they may soon return to take full control of the area, claiming that it belongs to Guinea. The claim was made by Member of Parliament for Kailaon District, Honorable Engineer Fala Tengbe. He said heavily armed Guinean troops carrying both light and heavy machine guns entered Sokoma, where Sierra Leonean forces are stationed. He is now calling on government to strengthen the military presence there and also to prevent what he describes as another possible loss of Sierra Leonean territory by Guinea. In Nigeria, a new report says the country has become the deadliest place in the world for Christians. The report, released in Washington, blames armed militias and extremist groups for ongoing attacks against Christians. It also criticizes laws in some northern states, saying that they are used to silence minorities and suppress dissent. U.S. lawmakers describe the situation as part of a broader humanitarian rights crisis involving extremist violence and weak state accountability. Well, last year, President Donald J. Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern over religious freedom issues, saying Christianity faced what he called an existential threat. However, Nigeria continues to battle multiple armed groups, and victims of the violence includes both Muslims and Christians. Zimbabwe has suspended all exports of raw minerals and lithiums. The government says the move is aimed at stopping malpractice in the mining sector and forcing companies to refine minerals locally. The suspension takes immediate effect even for shipments already in transit. Zimbabwe is Africa's largest lithium producer and holds one of the world's biggest reserves. However, critics argue the policy shift should have happened years ago, as the country has already lost significant revenue. Chinese companies currently dominate Zimbabwe's lithium industry in the country. In Kenya, a man suspected of recruiting citizens to fight in the Russia-Ukraine war has been arrested. The 33-year-old detained near Kenya's border with Ethiopia after returning from Russia and allegedly attempting to flee the country. The Kenyan government says more than 1,000 Kenyans were recruited to fight. Dozens are reportedly still on the front lines. Some are hospitalized, others missing, and at least one has died. An intelligence report presented to Parliament just weeks ago suggests that there may have been collusions between Kenya and Russian officials, along with the rogue recruitment agencies. Russia has denied any wrongdoing. Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister has appealed to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to release 2 Ghanaian prisoners of war. The Foreign Affairs Minister made the appeal during a visit to Kyiv, describing the men to President Volodymyr Zelensky as a victim of manipulation and trafficking networks that lured them into fighting for Russia. Ukrainian officials say more than 1,700 Africans from 36 countries have been identified fighting for Russia, with some now in Ukrainian custody. Well, talks are ongoing between both governments, that's the government of Ghana and the government of Ukraine. So we of course will see viral videos just about over a year ago, including a Sierra Leonean man who engaged the fight for Russia in Ukraine. Of course, these long allegations, Russia have continuously denied these allegations, saying that they are recruiting Africans to fight in Ukraine. We see many African countries don't come out and condemn and accuse Russia of this illegal recruitment of the citizens them. But we've not seen it happen in Sierra Leone. Is it that the number of Sierra Leoneans the number of Sierra Leoneans compared to other African countries then with the fight for Russia in Ukraine is less? That is still not very clear. But however, now though, we'll keep eyes on all of the stories. Plus, this will be breaking news where we see actually happen just overnight. Engineer Fala Tengbe, Member of Parliament for Kailaon District, confirming for say strong intelligence people, informants from credible source for say Guinean military personnel them. They actually go na Sokoma just outside Yenga, and say they go come back. They left a word for say they go come back for can seize the entirety of Sokoma. Sokoma they outside of Yenga. Of course, according to engineer Falatengbe, Sukumade just 200 to 300 meters away from Yenga itself. Of course, you know, Yenga has been a disputed territory for over 2 decades between the government of Sierra Leone and the government of Guinea. So, we know earlier this week tensions arise between Sierra Leone and Guinea on the latest cross-border tensions. Them we will bring you all of the stories them soon inside the Epic Morning Show. My name is Usman Ibrahim Mara. We did live on all the major social media handles on 99.3 FM on Facebook. Listen to me in the eastern parts of Freetown on Choice FM and Radio Garden. We've been joined in the studio by Mulku Bangura for joining this course to give you the biggest international stories. Mulku, good morning. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning, and good morning, Salon Vambulem.
Where should we start, Mulku? Mulku, we know say President Trump for a very long time now has been saying he, as President of America, no go sit down and allow what he accused Iran. He say that the world's largest sponsor of terror for obtaining a nuclear weapon. He has been continuously saying this, and we know say until recently we see a military build-up of America around Iranian waters. Then, but he's now saying in Congress that administration will first off look at diplomacy for sort of get an agreement with the Iranians. Then, what do you make of the peace talks we'll see, the talks that we'll see? Indirect talk between America and Iran just yesterday we conclude.
Thank you, Usman. Me are confused.
How?
And the reason why I'm confused, in June 2025, Trump go attack 3, allegedly 3 nuclear plant sites.
Which week is he allegedly?
Well, because according to Trump's statement, it was a complete obliteration. So, how you completely obliterate the nuclear plant, then you still want a nuclear deal? So it confusing me. I confused. I don't know what for believe. I don't know what for say. So this what happened in June, and now here we are. It try for negotiate with Iran, and they say it use diplomacy. Look. The reality of the situation is Trump is just echoing Bibi Netanyahu in statements. This always thing they happen. So now Israel Lebanon, it's no secret. It's been long. Israel they accuse Iran say then they develop nuclear weapon, and Iran don't they posit say no. What thing then don't they do all these years is just enriching harmless and weaponless nuclear reactors that they get. So it confusing now. We are seeing them mobilize their army, and it costs the American taxpayers a lot of money for letting mobilize their army and mobilize forces. It's a war me personally don't want to let the US go into. Because they would lose it. It's like we are seeing Afghanistan happening all over again. We are seeing Iraq happening all over again, and Trump mobilizing his forces, threatening Iran. It's not a good sight. Now, let we also not forget say. The people that Trump put in charge for go do this in negotiation. I mean, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. For quite a while, diplomatically, these are Trump. How do I put it? Now the people in the way they go soften the ground for them. But when you go in and go there, if you listen within the talk, you listen to the content of the negotiations, they're just echoing Netanyahu's accusations of how can you go and tell a sovereign nation, say, as part of the deal, the negotiation deal, go and abandon your ICBMs, right? We now enter any intercontinental ballistic missiles. We not for also put that there aside. You strong arm them. You are telling them for be defenseless. In other words, and why you for telling them for be defenseless? Because it's like if they get attacked now, how they go for defend themselves? How they go for team up and fetch for themselves?
If Iran gets attacked,
yeah, if they can attack Iran, and this is what BB is doing. This is all BBs. We don't hear again from I think Obama days. Where BB they be in this thing. When we come back, where you turn a power back. You understand? Where they talk about Iran, we need to stop Iran. Iran they found insurgencies, blah blah blah. And honestly, we think Iran right now, Iran they weak. the sanctions don't affect them so badly. Internally, they are disintegrating. The out and calling currency is the weakest forever. They're not gonna get any support. Like, I mean, financially, economically, they are broken, right? And for me personally, Trump not interested in regime change. I texted this the last time on the last show. Trump not supposed to be interested in regime change. He does not care about these countries.
You're not interested in regime change, but see happen na Venezuela?
No, Venezuela na in that guy they get issue personally, and I oil want. Not to foresee anything. What I mean regime change politically. See, America created the demon monster with the CISO in Iran. They created this Iran with the CISO in 1970.
Okay, so right? Yusuf see what happened. Iran, the Iranian regime, Ali Khamenei is a monster.
Well, according to the US.
Well, even according to you mentioned that just now.
Yes, he is, because it don't effectively deny women's right. You know, it don't effectively kill the opposition. He's effectively running the monarchy, and a lot of people are suffering. It don't bring sanctions on the people, and socially the people are struggling. Iran is really struggling. If you look at what's happening to other countries in the Middle East, like Saudi, Qatar, they're actually developing. They're evolving. They're becoming a very wealthy nation. In fact, they don't relax some of these religious laws where they prevent women from participating in certain things. Sports don't become big. They are doing things now with the Western world they do. Iran they still hold on to their own, you know, and it's not helping them. So you are actually killing your people. You know, you actually look, they catch woman and they chop woman and eat, they jail woman and they kill. It's bad for the country as a whole, and the US created that. So for me, I think it's confusing for understand exactly what the US is trying for gain from these negotiations. And let's not forget, see, right? There was a deal in place in 2015. President Obama signed a 10-year deal with the Iranian government, right, for agree for put on hold all the nuclear reactors, right? No nuclear development. Remember, in 2015. And they did, because the US be put guardrails, people, and for monitor that situation. The UN be there, they watch them, they go there, they go visit every 3 months for assess the facilities. Them, the Iranian government be accept and allow monitors for the candidate periodically for the check for see if this. So it was working. And then come President Donald Trump. He came in, he said no. He tore that old deal apart, sham. He said not useful and not necessary, and then now you are going to renegotiate a deal. Why you not just build on the existing? Why are you reinventing the wheel and go now you will negotiate a new one with new terms and tell us, no, the never rights forget the ICBMs for protecting themselves. Right. So for me, it's very confusing.
All right, Melvin, make I bring you. What do you make of him?
Hanging on the lips of my good friend and brother. I will call him a US anti-Trump scholar.
And you are pro-Trump scholar.
Forever, you know. And so it's a confusing. And that one for begin. It is meant to be confusing. Because if you look at a portion of the US foreign policy, that is what is called strategic ambiguity. It deliberately meant to be vague, for let you not understand and for let you be confused. So my brother, please don't be confused. So what is there to be expected? The blueprint is very clear. US always don't use diplomacy and negotiation as smoke screen for behind the scene covert operation or overt operation ultimately. So what is happening? If you look at the troop build up, if you look at the mobilization, it is very clear that America is going to strike. And for me, it will be interesting for see if Iran go allow themselves for be fooled again by Americans for the second time using negotiation. They were negotiating while they go bomb the nuclear facilities. And this is the interesting thing where they enjoy by this old drama. America, but all this the natchez, the majiji where they make sooner in troop mobilization. Their expectation, according to Steve Witkoff, in one of the interview where he do, I think it's one of these left wing, right wing media outlets. Yeah. He said Trump is frustrated because see Iran they capitulate. What does that mean? Trump been they expect say where they send them gunboats, then they send all them military arsenal and they mobilize Iran for softening stance. But what is analysts saying? Analysts across the world, they say Iran, instead of America then bow down or cave into America intimidation and pressure within they see visibly, they say they do mobilization. They are now doing joint drill with Russians. Joint drill, air and naval. Waiting and tell you.
How will that help Iran? Because Russia not help Iran during the 12 days
If
war.
they are doing joint drill, when they not been do before the bombing of Fordo, they tell you say this trip will not knock we left by. In fact, knock not be left by Iran. If you see the retaliatory attacks, they touch one or two of the bases, though it not been too serious according to the US DEO report.
But Iran even informed them before they launched the strike. So
That's what we are told. If you look Iranian media, they are saying different thing. So the fact here remains, war is imminent. The only thing we don't know in this ambiguous situation are that who's the US the strike, and what we don't know, how will Iran react? And like what you say, will other forces come in this time back in Iran? I'm sure this time
who's first?
Russia is going to be involved if America strikes again on Iran.
Russia will strike America for Iran.
Look at the nature of the drilling the way that they do.
Will Russia strike America for Iran?
Russia will not strike America. They will aid defense of Iran.
How?
So many ways.
Like also.
How you assist the military? You assist through troops or military assets or equipment.
So Russia can send boots on the ground for Iran?
It's not only about boots. Don't corner me, my man. I'm a journalist too.
So how?
You cannot send boots, but you can send military equipment. Where America send them people in Nigeria, now boots on the ground, what's the word they use? They say they are military technical advisors. So what if they have technical advisors? Or what if they have Russian mercenaries supporting them? America knows the cost of this. And follow the debates in Washington. People are counting the cost. And mind you, this is a president who promised to end wars.
Yeah, well, he says he's a peace president.
So he is not having it easy back home. And his MAGA base is fragmenting. Particularly on defense spending and other things the way they emerge out of hand. So for me, I think America, Donald Trump only count the cost now, but he's going to strike. And Iran will reply. Unfortunately, what we don't know now the magnitude of this. And of course, I be tell you last day you be arguing say when them bomb for they don't obligate. I say now wait till America tell me.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say they don't obligate.
No. You say America said they don't obligate.
They say. I not say so.
And I be tell you not to school, but you are arguing me. Let's go back to the archive. You really argue me say, are you the obligate man? Like what Muluku say, you obligate man. You don't obligate the man. Then you negotiate. At the same time mobilize.
And say you want launch other strike too. You know they roll out.
This is double standard. No, I mean it's deliberate and now for fool the Iranians. Me the interest to look at it now whether Iran go allow themselves to be fooled again by this so-called diplomacy. That's like Guinea, Sierra Leone, like Iran, America.
Okay, the big issue today are the border disputes between Salon and Guinea. But however now though, Mulku, the last time you were here, you mentioned for say the intelligence officers of America with the among we, and we don't get response from one Sierra Leonean. We say he confess for saying in a spy for American and Salon. So wouldn't you response to our hunt?
Okay, I need to make the news clear. I need to make something clear about this. The way they report Sarah Lode, then I see her all over social media. It's like I interview our hunt. I not interview our hunt. So I get me show on Tuesday, the Talk to Them show where they come, every Tuesday 8 o'clock. I've never interviewed our hunt. I never get any I don't want this to be face to face. So that's one I make it clear. And secondly, that statement, I make that statement will be the talk about the ban, way the USB ban, and it was here on, I think on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, where we deliberate on and how it affects Sierra Leone and try for tell people, look, say the US and all these embassies, they get intelligence officers. They go and gather information and report back to the US intelligence